welcome back to another video of some more F1 2020 game news. Now, you probably have already seen this, but earlier today, Lee Mather, the mastermind, the man who denies everything that there is a problem with F1 2019, did an interview with Red Bull about F1 2020. And here is set interview. F1 2020 races on our screens, blah 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 blah, July the 10th. Okay, I'm just going to skip past this first paragraph because it's all about Red Bull promoting, reminding people they can play it themselves. Move on to basically what Mr. Mather can tell us about my team. Players will have to manage both the running of the team, produce the results out on the track. So there is a possibility that a player could get fired by their own team. That would be quite interesting if the board of directors say you're fired. Obviously we've got, and also this player will be responsible for all departments needed to run the team. These arrangements impact on pure performance. Departments who work get the best sponsorship and media details. For the responsible for driver and staff training. So obviously there's going to be an element of staff training, whether or not that goes along with the there was the MotoGP game that's just recently come out, and that you have to hire staff for that as well. So yes, hopefully they've put some sort of cutscenes in there as well, some dialogue, otherwise it's going to end up being pretty dull. Engage with the driver market. The most lucrative sponsors will also play a crucial part in creating the successful team, not to mention the development of the car and how you manage the team's time between the races via the new season timeline. So that indicates there's going to be parts of you're going to get. It's going to be a calendar, like probably the calendar that they invented for online last year, and that's probably going to be shifted over into single player now for career mode. How does the driver work experience, and what does it mean for the players? And this is the interesting thing. As the boss, you're no longer the commodity on in the driver market, and it's your teammate and all the other drivers in both Formula 1 and Formula 2, which suggests that they've done what people were asking for, an integrated Formula 2 driver transfers into Formula 1. Obviously you've got funding and expenditure, picking the right sponsors. As I said, I've already mentioned the rumours that there are sponsors. Could be real. A high profile driver, that's the thing though. Would you pick like a Carlos Sainz who brings with sponsorship with them? Don't think Codemasters would have thought about that, I don't think. Or for example a Lance Stroll, or somebody who brings sponsorship with them, and then they will pay basically a pay driver. If you won't provide the level facility they can expect of a championship winning team, of course we're not going to be able to bring a champion. If we're coming in at the bottom, then the 11 team isn't going to be the fastest in the first season, are they? It's going to be many seasons. Any beginner tips for my team? Works very differently to the traditional Kira play. Rather than spending everything upgrading the car, you need to look at investing in the team for the long run. So it's just there's going to be the R&D points is going to be transferred into some monetary or some credits or something. As the last thing you want to do is have to shut down a facility to save on spending. So that goes back to F1 2016 potentially. Remember back in F1 2016, you had the option to be able to, if you wanted to, you could basically stop development on this year's car, basically to save your resource points for next year's car. That's the only game that ever actually had that in. A cool visual, which is multiplayer car, a strong colour scheme with a striking badge, and make the team yours. I say a badge. It's gonna, you know what? It's just basically what they've got, what they've created in multiplayer and transferring it to single player, and adding a few sponsors. Now, what are the new additions to Karuma, and what do you think the most exciting inclusion? Well, they added driver views, which personally, and I say personally, I think they didn't mean to add driver moves in F1 2019. It just so happened it was in the coding and it actually went out in the game. I don't think they meant to do it because it wasn't publicised until I think it was Arif who had a driver move in the 10th when he was, you know how it is, he just records back to back races. When you've got the game a week ahead, then you've got that time to do that. As part of the driver market, you'll be competing with all the other drivers around you to get the best seat at the best price. There's definitely going to be some money coming in. So whether or not that feeds in, remember in the previous video I left a link to a video that I did last year from something that was leaked from Codemasters, where you sort of have like a driver room. Again, it was in the previous video I did, so there'll be an thing anyway at some point in this video to the playlist of this video. Episode number 2 has a card in there to take you to that video. They've made adjustments to the R&D, which is good. I presume this is, hopefully they've added some stuff, because I know there was some stuff that was lacking, but I'm not sure what else they're going to do, to be honest. And then they talk about the 22, 16 or 10 races. Again, for my career mode, because now this is with my career mode, I'll get onto that in a channel update in a few days' time. Basically, it will be a 16 race. I cannot do 22 races, and not only that, I cannot be bothered to race around some of the most boring tracks in the world, and I want to customize the race calendar. So 16 races, I think, career mode, and then of course he's got some beginner tips for career mode. And which is just the basic thing, and then he gives his insight into Zandvoort and Hanoi, which of course is coming to the game, which sounds, with the sounds of this, means that unfortunately it looks like that classic tracks will not be in F1 2020 unless they spring it on us last minute. But as it currently stands, that sounds like F1 classic tracks. There's also a thing about Splitstream, which has been requested in the game since they removed it 5 years ago. Steering assist, automatic reset to track is okay. So there was a manual reset to track, but now you can have an automatic one. That's going very arcadic, I'm going to say. Which, if you might remember rightly, the Grid Autosport game got mixed results, and it wasn't a fan with those people who are preferring the more simulation experience. So they're trying to bring in the more casual player, but are they going to throw away the people that are going to play the game through the year, as opposed to the game that are going to play it for about 2 days, and when it comes out and then put it down the bin? There's also some other stuff about the Schumacher edition in that game. So yes, that's going to be it for today's video. I know it's a bit short, but there has not been, I've literally searched and searched for stuff, and apart from there's been absolutely nothing. I've looked for like last year, I've looked for the achievements, they're not out yet. I've pretty much gone everywhere on Google, and I haven't been able to find anything else. It's not even out on the Spanish Amazon yet, so yes, if I do find, obviously I will keep looking, but I think that obviously Codemasters are keeping a very tight lid on everything. Obviously in recent years things have been leaked out that shouldn't have been leaked out by Amazon, like GameStop, I think it was for F1 2018 and other stuff. In F1 2019 there was a little bit of a leaking out about classic cars from Amazon, and sort of this year it's been very tight. There hasn't been a lot. Oh yeah, and last year obviously there was a big leak from inside Codemasters early on, which I missed, by the way, was about the cutscenes from F2. So yes, I don't know what's going to happen this year. They're definitely keeping a very tight lid on everything. And of course, too right, because remember the Grid game that they released, that got leaked as well. The entire game got put out on the internet, which it shouldn't have. So that's why that game was late. So obviously for Codemasters, they want to obviously promote their game their way, but at the same time, for me as a YouTuber, I'm hoping that there are some leaks and also some surprises. So, because one, I want to find them out for myself in the game potentially, but also my channel lives. Well, what part of my channel is living on these videos at the moment? The previous one has got over 200 views, for example. Compare that to my current modded career mode series, which is getting 20 views an episode. So there we go. But that's my ranting over. I'm going to leave it there. If you've got anything else you want to add, then let me know in the comments below. Let me know what 6 tracks on the full 2020 calendar track list that I should get rid of from my career mode in the comments below. But until the next video, take care. Thank you so much for watching. Enjoy your day, and goodbye.